Try not to punch the table so much this week. Well, I think even if we had the world's best tripod, I think it's going to wobble because table shakes, floor shakes, camera.
I mean, this is literally like, you know, Bill and Ted's. Is that the one with that film?
Yeah.
Where they have like act like one of those like old access channels. Like this is as low budget as it gets. I mean,
it's Wayne's World.
What is up? It's James. Obviously.
What was that?
I don't know. I didn't even think about what I was going to say. That was the problem.
Morning.
Good morning. What is up, YouTube? It's James from Robin Henry Watches. We're back for another episode of What's Hot, What's Not.
A retro episode because our sponsor's back.
Heineken.
We ran out of cherry brandy, so Heineken all the way.
It's not Christmas anymore. It's like the depths of miserable February. Anyway, let's get into a wristwatch check. I am wearing my Cartier Tortue, white gold, manual winds, factory set Cartier diamonds. Beautiful watch. I'd like to see the Tortue range come back. I believe, was it their second model, the Tortue?
I think so. It was early.
It was second or third
it was like
model. Santos. I can't remember. We did a video on all that.
Does it know that you were talking about cheating on it this morning?
No. And it's not really, because I'm keeping it in-house.
Yes.
Very watch term there.
Yes.
So,
of course.
No, it's staying.
It's staying.
I mean, it's got to.
Yeah.
Got no other choice.
No.
Right, anyway, let's get into it. So what's our first topic for discussion?
Who do we want to talk about first? Rihanna? That's what everyone's talking about right now.
Yes.
The only Jacob and Co I've seen in a while that's actually half decent.
I think most people do agree that it's passable. Now,
like
so
it's
obviously,
a watch for a change.
So Rihanna did her Super Bowl
performance.
Her
lip sync performance, which was poorly synced.
To be fair, I'm not American, so I've got no interest in it. I didn't watch it, and not interested. So yeah, she was wearing a Jacob, which we can only presume was given to her.
The Rihanna edition.
Well, it went with her whole outfit, didn't it?
Of course
I don't know who the outfit was by. I'm not into all of that.
Don't care.
Right, so I just had to pull up the name because it's a brilliant skeleton Northern Lights with a matching red strap.
You'd think they'd come up with a better name than matching red strap.
Do you know what the main thing which stood out to me, other than the fact that it wasn't completely repulsive, is that it's 44 millimeter. It didn't actually look that big on her.
No.
She got big arms.
I suppose there's not really much in the way of lugs, if I remember rightly. The strap just kind of protrudes from it.
Yeah, no, it comes out from. They do it with a lot of dress watches. It comes out from underneath.
So I think that's probably where it owes a lot of its small lookingness.
Limited edition, 101 model. So you got to get in a quickly. Call Jacob. $72,000.
That's quite reasonable.
I've seen worse things. I mean, it's got this kind of. Obviously, they're calling it skeleton. It kind of is, but it's got this like red. I'm going to call it perspex. I'm sure it's not perspex.
It's not. It's a gemstone, I think.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure. I can't remember which gemstone. Should have researched.
But I mean, listen, it wasn't that bad.
I'm pretty sure it's a gemstone anyway.
I think for a woman's watch, I think it looked good. It caught my eye when I saw it anyway. When I first saw the article come up, obviously it was covered by a few publications, but I was like, yeah, it was all right. Oh yeah, it's a red mineral crystal.
That's quite depressing.
30 meters of water resistance. I mean, listen, I always shit on Jacob, but it's not the worst thing. If she'd been wearing like a 5 time zone, I'd have been like,
No, fair play to him.
And obviously I'm partial to the odd diamond.
That's 250 on there. 251,
They're
sorry.
Jacob these are Cartier diamonds.
Yeah.
Jacob, you can't trust where he got those from.
Cartier.
Where did he get them from?
Oh,
he can't be
probably
trusted.
he probably smuggled them out of like somebody's arsehole and then stuck them on a watch.
Anyway, I'm going to put it in the what's hot.
Yeah.
It's all right for Jacob. I think it worked well for her.
I think the skeleton dial's cool.
Hopefully for her, she got to keep it for free. I mean, she's a billionaire at this point.
I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Right, what's up next?
What's not hot, James? What were we talking about this morning? Because I think you've got some axes to grind.
Yeah, I do. So what we were talking about is obviously at the moment, it's a buyer's market. I've got a lot of people contacting me literally every day right now, which never used to happen, offering to sell watches. And this is my beef, and it happens with 99% or 9 out of 10.
It's very well done beef, really tough, chewy beef. I'd agree.
They offer me watches to sell without a price. Fine. And then as soon as I go back and say, what do you want for it? Because obviously when you're selling watches...
you. Pull out the Uno reversey card.
They're like, no, you tell me what you're wanting to pay for it. No, that's not how it works. You already know what you want for your watch.
Yes.
Just tell me, so waste my time.
It's like they're playing a lottery to see if you'll give them twice that price,
yeah,
which is never going to happen.
For a 10 grand watch, like I'll give you 30.
You're more likely to undercut what they want.
Yes. Like
way more likely.
What do I want? So I had a back and forth with a guy over a white gold Submariner. And my first question was, because he had it listed, it was from another dealer, but there was no price on it, which is a beef of mine anyway. Like, as a dealer, you should list your prices.
Of course you should.
Just be upfront. I was like, what can you do it on wholesale for? Don't want to sell it wholesale, want to retail it. Okay, fine. No problem. It's your watch. Do what you want. What's the details of it? Then it was like, it's 2021. Right, okay. And does it have a box and paper? And it was this sort of like, what's the price? And then he like came back with something else. And then after about it felt like the whole afternoon. It was like from 2 till 5. I said to him, what do you want for it? He's like, what do you want to pay for it? I'm like, Jesus, you're a dealer. You're supposed to be a dealer.
You
like,
should be able to set a price.
You know what your price is. Do you do this to customers? So he's like, what do you want?
Well, technically you were a customer because he was going retail.
So I was like, fine, 26 grand, deliver it next week. No, that's lower than my cost price. Oh, I was like, if you had said that at the beginning of the afternoon, we wouldn't have wasted our time. We've had it recently with other, just private sellers. Like, just as a dealer, it's very annoying. We get these things all the time, and I'm not even the busiest dealer. Like, these guys, like, just say what your price is.
Yes.
And be realistic. I'm not paying the top price that you can find on Chrono 24, because one, that hasn't sold. What I'm looking at, if you want to use Chrono 24 as a guideline, find the lowest price, because that watch hasn't sold, take off the 6.5-7% fee, then take off tax, overheads, whatever. So you can take off another 20%. That's where I'm looking to buy, because I got to buy the watch. I've got to take all the risk. I've got to put my money in it, sit on it, possibly service and have it polished.
Quite often lately.
Market it, and then hope that the market doesn't go against me, and hope that I can find a buyer for it that's going to pay what I'm asking. So, yeah, just like, whether it's me or someone else, just say what you want. You know what you want, so you don't want to waste your time. You probably don't care if you waste my time.
And they're more likely to sell it.
Yeah, just be like, straight up, this is the watch, this condition, these are the details, this is what I want for it. And I'll just be like, yes or no, like we're close. Yeah. Or, a lot of the time.
If he'd given you the price at the start of that 3-hour conversation, he could have had 10 conversations of the same kind with 10 different dealers, probably sold it to 5 of them in the time he had that one conversation with you.
Not the price he wanted.
Well, no, but he'd have found a chance if he kept adjusting his price. He could have done it that afternoon.
Yeah.
And been happy-ish.
But yeah, I've had a lot of them, a lot lately, of people just, quite rude, really. Like, you know what you want to say? Like, I don't need to buy it from you. I'm not under obligation to buy it, just like people have obligation to buy my watches. I'm one of the few people, I'm very upfront about my pricing. I put it on all my posts, which a lot of people still don't do on Instagram, which is odd.
It's very odd.
Got the price on the website, very clear. Right.
Just do it.
Don't be wasting your own time more than anything and mine. You know what you want for it, and we'll have a conversation on it. And most of the time it's a compromise. It's got to be, between reality and dreams.
That sounds like it could be like an album cover, Between Reality and Dreams.
Yeah.
Or a song title.
You're
missing the market.
Trust me, because a lot of the prices that are being offered by dealers, there's a lot of dealers right now which are not buying anything, they're only consigning. I follow this one in the US. He's quite a big vintage dealer, and he's a really knowledgeable guy. He comes across really nice, got a big account. I'm not going to put his name out there, but he's doing something which I don't like at the moment, and that's he's only taking consignments. And now what he does on his posts, right, is make us an offer. So if it was your watch and your money, you wouldn't be putting up make an offer, because ultimately they don't give a crap, because they got no bottom line on this. They're only taking a percentage.
Yeah.
And I think, well, how do you come back from that?
No.
Because your customers are going to be used to making an offer.
Exactly.
But as a dealer, when you buy stock, you can't do make an offer. That doesn't work, because unless your margins are so huge,
No one's margins are there at the moment, let's be honest.
No, I mean, the only persons that probably have is like people that have, maybe Watchfinder used to do it years ago, but you know, that business model doesn't appear to be working brilliantly at the moment.
When was the last time they bought anything?
Yeah, they're not buying a lot of stuff. You know, maybe that's for another episode. But yeah, I just think, well, if it was all your watches, you wouldn't do that, because there isn't the margin to do that. That's the thing, which people don't realise, is our margins are very slim. Especially when you take away, you know, overheads, you know, you're talking single digit of a low number.
Which is depressing.
But yeah, my beef is like, if you're selling a watch, you know what you want for it. You're not going to put it up on eBay or Chrono24 without a price. Yeah, you just, you know, do you know what it is? It's like, it's not quite the same, but there's an episode in Family Guy where Peter opens the door and, actually, I don't think this has any bearing. But he says to the guy who like knocks the door, he's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "What do you sell?" And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" And the guy's like,
"Oh, I know the episode. Okay, it's a bit of a reach, but I get you."
And it's like, yeah. Anyway, that was a really bad analogy.
It was terrible. It was like,
if you want to sell your watch, I'm buying if the price is right, but just don't waste your own time or mine.
Tell us the price.
Anyway,
you know what else is a bit? It's a bit. But it's cool, but I don't really find myself getting that excited about it. Omega, as usual. Spirate.
So the watch brand that is always so close to absolutely nailing it and coming out with
cutting edge every time.
But then it's like if actually no, I can't use that analogy. It's getting too interesting. But like, it's close to perfection, and then they just have to fiddle with it, adjust it a little bit, and ruin it.
It's like if like these big fancy gymnastics things they do at the Olympics where they like spring across the mat and do stuff, and at the end they do the big stand and then they fart. That's Omega with most of their big releases. I'm just trying to
find the actual name of this watch. So it's called the
Super Racing.
Yeah, the Speedmaster Super Racing. Okay, so let's just talk about the Spirate. So it's actually...
Is it Spirate? Is it Spirate?
I don't know.
Spirit.
So they've trademarked it, and they've come up with, you know, Spiral, which is, you know, made from silicon and the world rate. So they've just made the name Spirate. You know, it's a bit. I mean, Omega. I think they actually have someone that works for Omega who just comes up with names like Sedna Gold, Canopus Gold. You know, and they're different names for their things.
Spirate is a bit.
Basically, it allows a watchmaker to regulate the balance spring, plus or minus 2 seconds.
Which is huge on paper.
I mean, yeah. I mean, on the one hand, they've got now, you know, the most accurate mechanical movements out there, and they're going to be mass produced. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, does it really matter?
Nobody cares.
We're talking a couple of seconds here on objects which are obsolete, because your phone, or you know, you can buy a £20 Casio, which is way more accurate. But yes, it does matter, because you know, we don't buy watches for that. But it's cool nonetheless.
It's like if they took the Seamaster Diver and added an extra 100 meters to the water.
I mean, listen, you have to give Omega props on the one hand, because it's like, I don't know what it's cost them in R&D to do this and to put it out there, but they didn't need to do it.
And I don't see it selling the watch.
No. It sounds a bit odd though. Me being nerdy, we'll get onto the bits of why I won't, but I probably would have bought it. But it's got a few fails on it. The 44.25 millimeter size. It's too big. Like, unless you got big wrists. I mean, listen,
Speedmaster's already a bit too big.
I always joke about my wrists, but they're actually relatively average. They're 6.75 inches. It's close to the 7. Listen, you know Harry, he's a fit young man.
Yes.
He's got the same size wrists as me. You've got the same size wrists as me.
I think mine are a little bit. I think I've got like, sometimes I'm bigger, sometimes I'm smaller.
It's a smidge, but maybe it's because you're gaining weight.
Maybe I'm just a bit squishy. I'm like, they're bigger, but they're squishier, I think.
So, 44, and so I'm out on that basis.
Because I'm gaining weight.
Yeah, you only just got that. You do look a bit more squidgy.
Ouch. I am a bit squidgy. I've had like 5 pounds on over Christmas.
So, that's the main reason. And then the other thing is, so, I haven't got the details here.
It's the Gauss thing, isn't it?
It's the tie-in with that, yeah. So it's super cool that it's got the, you know, the anti-magnetic. Is it 15,000 Gauss?
Yes, 15, I think. Yeah, because it was 15.
And like, I like the honeycomb dial. But
So it's for the anniversary of the Aquaterra 15,000 Gauss.
Okay, I'm glad you've done some research.
But that's no, I just remember.
But what's the tie-in?
It's
the Speedmaster
it's a totally
and the
different
Aquaterra
watch.
is a different family, range, SKU, whatever you want to call it, in the Omega catalogue.
No one's using the Aquaterra for precision timing.
So
no one's
why
using
did
the
they, why did
Speedmaster
they do
for
that?
swimming.
I mean, listen, I guess it's not a killer on the watch, but it's like, just why did you do that?
It makes no sense.
And why did you make it all yellow? Is that
In
'cause
fact,
it's the
and
racing?
this isn't one of my bollocks like analogies. It's like doing a special edition Daytona for the anniversary of the Submariner. That's exactly what it is, right?
Or the Milgauss,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so maybe the yellow is because it's one of the racing editions.
That's fine.
Or is that the tie-in to the Aquaterra? I don't know.
Show me again?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's meant to be a tie into the Aquaterra. I can see it. If they told me it was just for the racing thing, I get it.
And look at the number 10. It's got that weird 10. I don't know if that's something.
Oh, the slanty 10.
Yeah.
I think it's the only number. I'm sure I've got something in the back of my head. I heard somebody saying that the 10 is the only number on that wheel that's slanty as well.
I mean, listen, at 44.25, when you look at it just like that, the dial is and the case, it's well proportioned. But I just know it's going to be too big.
Oh, I know why the 10's slanty. It's all the numbers, but they've done it in the Speedmaster font. So where they do the swirly writing
Why?
for Speedmaster.
Oh, because 10 years.
That's clever. It is the date wheel, but
And look, I mean, look at it. I mean, this guy, you can see he's got a big wrist.
yeah.
I
really hate the fabric strap.
Yeah, but at least they include it.
Yes.
So it's just there as an extra. It comes on the bracelet, so that's cool.
Tacky. I think that like the hazard hand is kind of cool.
10,200 Swiss francs. What's that going to be in pounds? What, 8,000? It's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, but listen, for the technology, if you've got the wrist that can wear it, great.
I just wish they put it in something more appealing.
No,
or more logical.
I think I presume at this point that they'll roll it out.
Yes. Pretty sure
I think the Speedmaster was a good place to put it because obviously chronographs are inherently less accurate.
Yeah, no, I agree.
When you run the
Speedmaster makes sense, but
I don't get why you needed to tie it into the Aquaterra. No. And then my other beef, which is with all Omega releases, they put it out, but it's not available. Yeah. So yeah, when is it going to be available? Well, it's not on any of the like authorized Omega kind of retailers. So if it's like the rest of their releases, we'll be waiting maybe 24, 25. I'd like to see one in person. I'm not going to put this in the. I'm going to put it in the what's medium.
Meh.
Because on the one hand, I want to put it in what's hot because what they've done with the movement is cool. Even to be fair, the pricing, I think that's fair for what it is.
Yeah, it's the most accurate.
It's less than a Daytona, for example.
Yes.
But it's way more technically advanced. It just doesn't have the history, and the aesthetics are confusing.
Very confusing.
And
it's just the fart on the top of the really good cake.
Who farts on a cake?
Apparently Omega. Their own cake. That's how they blow out the candles. Spin around and do it all.
Was there anything else?
No, that's kind of demotivated me a bit.
Oh.
What wares have you got to sell?
I'll tell you what we have got launching.
Oh.
It's not, well,
no,
actually it'll be in the past.
Already be out.
So we have this, and it will look better by the time that it's in the shop.
Take it out.
You know how I store things? It's for transporting in and out of secure locations.
So this is watch only to a new definition, right?
Oh, look at the engraving on it, the serial number.
I've not seen this yet.
Be careful with it. Look how crisp that is, how easy it is to read.
Ooh.
So it is a vintage day date 1803, and I know I always say this, but the condition is phenomenal.
The condition is phenomenal.
So by the time that it's launched in the shop, it's going to come on a brand new custom-made strap. Well done, beautifully. The condition just all over. The hallmarks, look at the 18 carat. Look at it. Look at it.
It's tasty.
The condition is too good to sell. I mean, that's how
I'll quite happily look after it.
Absolutely not.
But you've already got a white gold one. Where's mine?
You just have to think, I don't know what it's going to sell at, but the cost of this new versus vintage plus the cool factor of vintage.
And the conditions are the same.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go to the wrong dealer, that condition might be better than how they give it to you once they finish sizing the thing.
Yeah. So it's a serious value proposition. Done a lot of day dates. Although the white gold isn't being appreciated, the reason that the white gold is more than this one, it's purely based on rarity.
Yes.
To find a 1803 white gold, especially in the condition that it's in, is yeah.
It's stealthy. People don't get it. That's made of aluminium, right?
Basically finished my Heineken, so can we wrap this up now?
Yeah, I think so. We've got that client to go to. So. Yeah.
Right, we're gonna go. We've got business to handle.
Ciao.